What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and if you watch the channel, you know the Springfield Armory Hellcat is my second favorite handgun, and even though I've gotten all these new Micro 9s, all these new handguns, for some reason it just doesn't change. This handgun is too concealable, too easy to carry, too easy to shoot, has too good a capacity, and I've made it even better with this setup right here. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. This firearm is safety checked and cleared, and we're ready to begin. This is my Springfield Armory Hellcat. I have 3 Hellcats and 1 Hellcat Pro, which is the larger version of the Hellcat, but you can use the 15-round mags from the Hellcat in your Hellcat Pro and vice versa. You can also use the 17-round mags in each firearm, and on top of that, you can put the Hellcat Pro slide on here and it runs flawlessly, functions, and there is a built-in dust cover, so you have nothing to worry about. That's just a pretty cool thing about the Hellcat. Now, reasons I like the Hellcat are its finish. Like I said, its size for its capacity. It is the smallest 9mm handgun with the most capacity. Yes, even beating the P365 by 1 round, being very similar or the same in dimensions. It is proven the Hellcat has the most capacity for its size. Has a rail, which allows you to get the TLR7A sub on there, which is the best light, hands down, and the best light for this handgun by far. Then I just have a cheap Ruger Ready dot on there that just works. It does what it's supposed to. Not the smallest dot in the world, but you can get a nice co-witness with those nice tritium front sights and that U-notch rear from Springfield Armory. Now, on top of that, I have Handle Edge Series grips. Everyone always asks about the logo, and yes, I messed the logo up. The logo normally looks better, but I messed it up. I'm terrible at putting grips on. I always mess them up. I always stick them to the wrong thing, and then it gets screwed up. So the other ones look better, and these are the Handle Edge series. And the way it works is they give you a little square that's red, and you put that down, and then you lay the grip over it, and you get this cool little shape right here. But as you can see, I did mess up the mouth. It is what it is. I have it mainly for the grip. Now, talking about the grip, this right here is a Tyrant base plate. It's a +4, I believe, or it's a +3. So this with the 11-round mag makes it 14 + 1, and it's a little bit shorter than the 15-round mag. So you can see where the 15-round mag gets that extra round, but like I said, 14 + 1, 15 out of a Hellcat, unreal in this size, right? Absolutely unreal for its size. Now, the reason I like this base plate is, look, it gets wider on the sides. Now, a lot of people might say that's going to be harder for printing and so on, but the thing is, the Hellcat's so thin as is and short. When you throw this base plate on there, it doesn't add too much, but what it does add is a great purchase on that handgun. It locks these 2 fingers in by being wider. You see how it's a little wider? These 2 fingers, one in that undercut, one right here, and it's like a mini magwell. It really is a mini magwell. Then your finger sticks out a little bit because it's sitting further out, but it feels so good in the hand, so natural, and I've had 0 malfunctions with that base plate out of any of my 3 OG Hellcats. Now, that back plate, that's just a match. Once again, it's from Tyrant, and back plates basically just hold in your striker and your internals and stuff like that. I change them out mainly for when I'm looking in the safe. I can see what the back plate is and say, okay, I need that Hellcat. Or, you know, if it's a Glock with a 10mm on the back, I know it's my Glock 29. So that's the main reason I do it. Not a big deal. Now, mag release, also from Tyrant, works flawlessly. Not a single issue with the regular mags, any mags at all. No issues. Locks in there. Feels nice and sturdy. Very little wiggle, if any at all. It's actually pretty nice. Yeah, not a lot of wiggle in there, and it feels really good. Takedown lever is also from them. I wish I would have got it in red, but I don't think they had it at the time. But it actually looks sick. Won't affect reliability or anything else like that. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you added all this stuff to your handgun, especially a trigger. That's a nightmare in a self-defense encounter. And here's the thing. Here's what I have to say. I've studied self-defense encounters a lot and, you know, justified use and all of that. And what I have found is, yes, they may make statements in court that, oh, you had a red backplate. Oh, you changed your trigger. The trigger is probably the easiest one to beat in court, but you're not being charged for putting a trigger on. You're not being charged for putting a backplate or a base plate. You're being charged because they basically have to in a lot of states, and if you're justified, you will come out for being justified. Just because I have a red trigger doesn't mean someone tried killing me. I defended myself. And what did I do? Used a red trigger to defend myself legally. They're not going to say, oh, because you used that red trigger, nope, sit down. Now the other thing I want to touch on is reliability. People are going to say, with all these aftermarket parts, is it reliable still? 100% reliable. Hellcats are the most reliable handgun in the world, I am convinced. I don't care what anyone says. Springfield Armory just makes a beast of a handgun in the Hellcat. The double feed ramp, the way the internals are, the kind of lubricants they use. I mean, the handgun is just built perfect almost. It really is. I love the Hellcat series in general. But reliability, that won't affect reliability. This could affect reliability, your mag catch, depending how it sits with that mag. But not a single issue. Everything locks back when empty. And I've shot plenty of rounds with this, not a single issue. Backplate, that doesn't cause malfunctions. And Tyrant does a really good job machining their parts. Now that trigger, let's get into that trigger. See that? It makes it less travel and a crisper, cleaner wall. It is lighter as well. And I'm going to tell you why I really like this trigger. You see that kickback? See how tactile that is? Watch it one more time. Ready? See that? And then you know that next shot's coming, and it is too easy. The trigger is my favorite upgrade out of all these. I would say the trigger's first, then the base plate. I really like the ergonomics with the base plate because it gives you a built-in mini magwell, basically. But that trigger is a complaint of a lot of people with the Hellcat. And the main reason they have that complaint is it is a Glockish trigger. It's better shaped than a Glock trigger, but it could be considered a little heavy to a lot of people, especially if you go and shoot the P365. But the reason I like this trigger is it is not a trigger bar. It is nothing. It is literally just a trigger shoe. And the way they design the trigger shoe allows it to be lighter, crisper, cleaner. And you're not affecting anything back here. You're not affecting a connector, your trigger bar angle, anything. It is staying the same. And on top of that, they're genius. You see that? That's not a roll pin. That's an Allen pin. So basically, you just take your trigger off, put this new one on, and you tighten it with an Allen wrench. So easy. You're not banging in a roll pin. You're not hitting in a roll pin. You're not potentially throwing off the angle of your bar, throwing off your trigger shape, the trigger shoe. It's literally just a trigger shoe, and you tighten it on, which is absolutely genius. On top of that, Tyrant came out with a trigger safety for the P365 that I have. Absolutely unreal, so I love the things they're doing. Everything is quality. Now, another reason why I went with them. Look at the colors. Everything is a color match. If you try and do a build and you use multiple companies, I'm telling you, everything will just be a little shade off, right? Just like this Hellcat logo right here is a little shade off of red, right? It looks similar from back here, but when you really look at it, it is a different shade of red. So when you go all with one company like this, you are going to get every single color and pattern. Look at the lines. Notice the line in the trigger safety right here, the backplate. Everything is going to be the same line, so it's going to have a theme. It's going to have a flow to it. And on top of that, it has done a pretty good job with its finish itself. I think we got some wear right there, which isn't a big deal. That doesn't affect anything. A little bit of wear right here. No wear on that back plate. No wear on that trigger. Basically nothing. So overall, it's been 100% reliable. It's a beautiful handgun. And yes, this is my carry Hellcat. Nothing special. Just a solid Hellcat build overall. And reliability, still on point. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.